Brother Deon Lampkin, you got shot in the head 6 times, or you got shot 6 times, or you got shot in the head. What was that experience like, and how did you recover? How were you able to recover from that?
So I got shot one time in the head, and the rest in the one in the back spine, one in the leg, one in the stomach. I got shot all over. And and I said before when he shot me, I said, Lord Jesus, please don't let me die. I got a son.
Mm.
And
How old was that son at the time?
he had just been born. You know what I
Mm.
mean? He's a baby. And and I and he was like, hey, I said, Lord, please don't let me die. I got a son. And he said, hey, turn your head to the left hand side and let the blood flow out your mouth. I said, who is this talking? Where you at? Where you at? He said, turn your head to the left hand side, let the blood flow out your mouth. I said, let the blood flow out my mouth. He said, yeah. He said, because your esophagus is swole and you ain't gonna be able to breathe out your mouth and blood is coming out your mouth. He said, breathe out your nose slowly and turn your head to the left hand side, let the blood flow out your mouth. I said, I gotta use the bathroom. He said, if you use the bathroom, your feces gonna kill you.
Mm.
He said, cause your guts busted up.
Mm.
I said, where you at? Where you at? And he said, I'm gonna put you back in your body and you gonna hurt. So I saw people stepping on me. I saw the dude that shot me. He ran to the back alley, got in the car. You know what I mean? And he said, I'm finna put you back in your body. I said, where I'm at, where I'm at. And he said, I mean, you and me. And when I hit my body, it was like a pain, and I was telling my legs to move, but I couldn't feel my legs.
Mm.
So I turned my head to the left hand side and let the blood flow out of my mouth, and I stayed calm and breathed out my nose, and then I hold my I had to use the bathroom and I hold it. So and I kept letting the blood bleed out my mouth, and they was finna throw a sheet on me and pronounce me dead. They pronounced me dead. So when they got me in the ambulance, and the woman was like, he's still alive. He's still alive. He's still alive. And so one of them hold my stomach and the other one wrapped my head up. And I woke up. I was in Huntsville Hospital. I stayed in surgery that whole night to that next morning. And they got me out of surgery that evening. And my mouth was wired shut. And I was weighing 230. I dropped from 230 to 160.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I had
Mm.
lost so much blood.
That is very powerful, Brother Lampkin. So you saying that this was not an EMT talking to you. This was not a first responder talking to you. This was a out of body experience, a near death experience, out of body experience. You was able to see the scene and things that was going on,
Yeah.
and so and you heard, I mean, you and me,
Yeah.
and so we know that ain't nobody but God.
Yeah.
So now, that's amazing. How did that feel? Like, once you came to,
But see,
were you ever able to
but see,
contact, or you know what I'm saying?
but see, I had before I had went to the bootlegger house, I had some cocaine mixed with some heroin,
Mm.
and I was snorting it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I was buying everybody drinks. You know what I mean? At the time, I was pumping weed. I had money and stuff.
Yeah.
I was buying everybody drinks and stuff. You know what I mean? The dude that shot me, I had told him, I said, look, man, stay away from Paul. Me and him beefing.
Was it a fight before the shots?
No, it wasn't no fight or nothing. See, I had cut this dude. You know what I mean? And it was just like some old high crazy stuff that had happened. You know what I mean? And me and him was beefing, and we was shooting it out and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I told the dude that shot me, I was like, man, stay out the car with dude because me and him beefing. You know what I mean? I don't want you to get caught in the crossfire.
Yeah.
But see, he had already called dude and told dude that I was over there. So, so I had shook his hand, told him, hey, man, he was like, asked me where my son, little Deon, was at, because that's his folks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, he at the crib, you know what I mean? He was like, all right, my nigga, and shook my hand, you know what I mean? And when I walked out the door, man, he shot me in the back of my head. At the
Wow.
screen though, you know what I
So
mean?
everything to you appeared to be cool, and you even turned your back to him,
Yeah.
and so
But
you
see,
got shot.
he was in the back. I had made it all the way to the stream though, man. He shot me in the back of my head. You know what I mean? And I fell off the steps. He kept on shooting me. When I fell down off the top of the steps. You know what I mean? Hit the ground.
Deon, what type of lifestyle had ushered you into ultimately dealing with that moment and that type of situation? Like, how did you get there? I heard you said that you was outside and you had the bag, and so you was getting to the bag, and then you said that you was playing with your nose a little bit,
Yeah.
and so, but would that constitute being shot in the back of the head? Like, what? I mean, like, how did you make it to this situation?
God, man.
Mm.
It was nothing but God. But see, I had been running from God for a long time anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he was working on me. I had love in my heart for people. I always had love for people, but people didn't love me the way I loved them. I had loyalty, but I was loyal to people. You know what I mean? I'm talking about loyal, do anything for them. You know what I mean? But see, they weren't for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But see, I didn't realize that because
Yeah.
I wanted to be down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, from my understanding from that, you know, sometimes we got to go through stuff to understand where to be and how to be in life.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you
Right.
know, then, you know, after that incident, you know, I didn't press charges on him. You know what I mean? I didn't go to court on him.
But you from that era though.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I didn't do that. You know what I mean? And
did you seek vengeance? I have to ask that.
I did for a minute.
Yeah.
But I had everybody in the streets scared of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, when you doing stuff like that, it's coming. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So expect it. You know what I mean? When you think you can't be touched, you can be touched.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, God had grace on me, man, you know.
Obviously.
And you know, for real, because, you know, then I turned around and after all that stuff had happened, man, you know, prior to another time, me and my cousin was together. We was finna sell this dude a couple of keys of cocaine. And
oh, you talking
they
about your
came,
cousin?
yeah, they came in, man, and they was acting cool and stuff, man, and you know, and they upped the pistol on my cousin. When they upped the pistol on him,
you went crazy.
I went crazy, but he knocked the dude out and grabbed the pistol. The other dude shot me in my stomach. Then he shot me in my leg. So I took the pistol from him, and then I started beating him with the pistol, and I was finna shoot him in his head. And my cousin was like, don't shoot him because we can't explain this. We got all this dope and money in here. You know what I mean? And this girl on Section 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we stripped him naked and beat him to death and made him drive back to Huntsville. So I ended up, he took my cell phone and told me, hey man, you gotta drive yourself to the hospital. You know what I mean? So I drove myself to the hospital. I got to the hospital, Bo Beast and her kids was in there.
Yeah.
I walk in the door, they looking at me, blood coming out my stomach like water. And I'm telling them I got shot and they hollering and going on, you know. But I had got shot so many times, you know.
It was a normal thing.
It was like, I know it didn't hurt nothing because I could still function and move, you know what I mean? So it had went in my stomach right here because I had his head like this and he shot me right here. He shot me right here and it come up through here and blowed that out, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and you know, I lived through that, you know. And then,
so after that experience, Deon, was you still outside? Was God still chasing after you? I mean, was you still running?
I was running. He was still on me. You know what I mean? Telling me, man. So after that happened and stuff, you know, I went to my probation officer, and they was trying to tell me, hey, well, it was some that you did. You know what I mean? It was something that you did. You know what I mean? For this to happen. It's had to be a drug deal. I'm telling them I got robbed for my pills because I was getting pills through the hospital for getting shot the last time. I told the police I got robbed for my pills and all this, you know what I mean? And they wouldn't believe in it, you know what I mean? So they tried to get me to press charges on the dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I don't even know, dude, you know what I mean? Because if I would have pressed charges on him, then the police would have got him and he would have told, and I would have looked at his phone and they would have connected to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, you know, I let it go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But years later, I ended up in prison and he at the prison I'm at, and he's so scared he don't know what to do. You know what I mean? So I'm looking for him because I was finna stab him. I'm looking for him, but the next day he transferred.
So now, Deon, that's why I want to go to next. I want to go to the 5 prison bids, which is, it just sounds flabbergasting when you think of 5 prison bids. Now, what was your first experience with prison, and how old were you? And what was the cause?
Okay, I went to prison for robbery. So I went to Bibb County. They call it Bloody Bibb. They make you sign your death certificate at the back gate.
You sign your death certificate
at the back gate. And they ask you where your body where you want to send your body if something happened to you. And they tell you to get a knife.
How old was you when you experienced that the first time?
I was 24.
Okay, and 24. In hindsight, we recognize 24 as a kid.
Yeah.
So was that scary for you? I mean, I knew you was already outside of it at that point, but
it really was scary, but it wasn't scary because I had hung out in the project so much, and the Stone Gate and stuff like that. So
the real projects.
The real projects. So, I was around crazy niggas, you know what I mean? So, I already felt how these niggas feel anyway, you know what I mean? I had stabbed 5 or 6 niggas before I ever went to prison. So I was cool with that, with the stab game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then, I had went to prison, man, but I really found myself in there, you know what I mean? I lived by order, you know what I mean? I had lift weights every day. I had a certain team of dudes I lift weights with, you know what I mean? I took certain classes, you know what I mean? But, I still was thugging.
So you're 24, but you saying that I'm using some structure and a schedule now while I'm in prison. Now you get out. When do you get out from your first bid?
I did 4 years and 8 months.
So you get out at 28 or 29?
I was what? It was 20. I was 25, 26, 27, 28, 28.
Okay, so you get out at 28, and you had a schedule and a regimen. And,
I went in weighing 160. I came out weighing 230, benching 505.
So you was looking crazy when you came home.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was home like? Was it a new world when you came home the first time? Or?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. My friend Sean Kane, when I was in prison, he was sending me money and taking care of me, man.
You talking about the rapper?
Yeah, he was sending me money.
Shout out to Sean Kane. He's supposed to be coming up here too.
Yeah, he was sending me money and taking care of me, looking out for me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad, but it was bad because it was like 15 dudes died in a year, man. You know what I mean? They was getting killed left and right.
And this is at Bibb, which was called Bloody Bibb.
Yeah, they was getting killed left and right. And they would come in, they would bag the morgue will bag in, and when they come in, the body be done set up rigor mortis, and the whole thing be stinking up in there. And then they'll put him in a plastic bag, zip him up, and throw a red cloth over top of him and roll him out and put him in there. You know what I mean?
So what was the majority of the reason that people were being killed in prison?
Over dope, money. You know what I mean? I didn't smoke no weed. I didn't do no dope in prison. I didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? I just got big and fought. That's it.
You got all the way right.
I got all the way right because it was real.
Yeah.
It was real. I mean, these was real killers, man. But I had love these niggas though, man, because we was like brothers, man. Some of these dudes, man, they was like brothers to me. You can ask my baby, man. I ran into 4 or 5 dudes in Birmingham, that know me from prison, man, and they good dudes, man.
Built camaraderie.
Yeah, man.
So Deon, so you get out 28. How did you get to your second bid? Well, I mean,
Man, so my second bid,
at this point you 28, you was getting to the bag.
I was getting to the bag then.
Yeah.
So that's when Dro just had came. It was going for $5,000 a pound.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And my dude,
G13.
yeah, my dude got plugged, and we went to pumping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I got on, but I went crazy. You know what I mean?
What does I went crazy consist of? If you
Because-
statute of limitations should be up
But-
Deon.
Because when you snorting cocaine and you got a whole lot of money and you feeling yourself and you feel like can't nobody do nothing to you, you'll do it to them. You know what I mean? And you got money to get out of whatever, get you a lawyer or whatever, you think you can buy your way out of stuff because you got the money.
Yeah, you got the bag.
Yeah, so, I wasn't scared. I had came from a camp with murderers, man.
Yeah.
And these niggas, I was close to these dudes, man. They was close to me. We was cool. You know what I mean? So that right there set up a whole, if I survive this pain right here, this street shit ain't nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a cakewalk.
Yeah.
These niggas ain't made for this shit. So when you locked up, you ain't got no guns. All you got is a knife in your fist. And if you ain't who you say you is, yeah.
You getting exposed.
You getting exposed right there. Real pressure. But see, this the thing that I don't understand today. All these dudes, man, when you shoot somebody, where you think you going? You're going to jail. And then when you go to jail and you don't know how to fight, you scared to get hit in the face, you scared to stab somebody. Now, you looking at this dude come from the street. He might be a crackhead on the street, but when he get in there, he a straight killer. But now, you need him. See, that's what people got it twisted at.
Oh, you need friends.
Mind who you do something to.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because you never know when you need somebody else, man.
Now, if I go in and I'm not who I say I am, I'm the new YNs. Okay, I go in. I'm not who I say I am, but I was a shooter outside, and that's why I'm in, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't got no heart.
Okay.
They didn't beat the butterflies out of me. You remember we used to have the butterflies? You got that beat out you. At least it's 8, 9, 10. You got that beat up out of you real quick.
Yeah.
And so from then on, it was cool to, like you said, take a lick to the face or get beat up or deal with a fist fight or something like that. But I'm not that. I'm the new YNs. I was born early 2000s or late 2000s. I was just born. I'm 1920.
Yeah.
Do I click up? And what are the dangers of clicking up in the federal prison, in the prison system?
I was in the state pen.
The state prison system. I apologize.
Yeah, so, okay. Say you went in for shooting somebody and you ain't got no fight in you.
No fight.
Okay. First of all, they gon' watch you. They gonna watch you every day.
What do you mean? What they gonna watch me for? What? They investigating me?
Yeah, they gonna see how you catch store. You know what I mean? Then they gonna see if you know anybody. Then they gonna then if you do know somebody and they've been there for years and stuff, and you didn't just now came, and they know, and the person that you know that you ain't who you say you is, you gonna be exposed. And they gonna pressure you. They gonna punk you. They gonna take your stuff. They gonna distort you. You know what I mean? It's a couple dudes down here. They know who I'm talking about. They came in. One of the dudes was coming down the walkway. You know him. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say no name.
No, please, Deon.
But and some dudes jumped him. They had stole his shoes and killed me. Some dudes jumped him. Yeah, they stole the shoes and killed me. And he saw the dude at the front coming in Bibb County. And I told him, I said, look, bro, don't say nothing to dude. I'm going to holler at these other gangsters and I'm going to see, you know what I mean, can I get your shoes back? But that nigga got like, it's 20 niggas lined up on that wall and they going to do something to you if you jump on this nigga. The dude was number about 5'8". And if I tell you who it
I
was,
know
I ain't
exactly.
gonna
I
even say
already
that.
know who you're talking
So
about.
I'm talking now the dude that was gonna jump on him at 5'8".
Okay.
The other dude wear glasses.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Oh
when
my
he
God.
came down there, they jumped him. I'm standing right here. We fighting. Both of us bumping. We bumping. They ain't hitting me because they know me, but I'm hitting on them. You know what I mean? Pulling them up off of him. He fighting them. He fighting them now.
He getting right.
He fighting them now.
Praise God.
He fighting them.
Yeah.
He ain't no pushover now. He
Yeah,
fighting them.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, they called him
You
up.
can't fight 20 niggas though, Deon.
No, you can't. But they called him to the shift office, and he can't. And guess what he did? He come back down there. He didn't tell on none of them. You know what I mean? I said, you did a good job, bro.
That
You
was
know
a
what I
good
mean?
job. Yeah.
So mean to say this, I'm telling him, look, bro, this is what you gonna have to do. I'm showing him the ropes. You know what I mean? But he had been locked up before, but you know what I mean? But he ain't never been to that caliber camp. You know what I mean? So I'm telling him the ropes and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And showing him and stuff, you know. And everything fell in place for him. He was all right. And then there's two more dudes from right around here. They know who I'm talking about. They was not who they said they was. One of them I had to fight for. And one of them, actually, I helped him get in crime bill. But he was a cool dude, man. I don't mind even saying this because he changed his whole life.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
Probably meant for me not to say it.
Yeah,
man.
It meant for us not to say it.
But them get in crime bill. He got in crime bill, got a time cut, and got out.
Yeah.
The next time I saw him, he changed his whole life, man. He doing great. I'm
straight.
so proud of him.
Yeah.
But see, he didn't get punked or nothing, but it wasn't for him.
That experience gave him what he
for
needed.
him because he was studying on tight edge all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he a good dude. You know what I mean? He changed his way. But this other dude, you know what I mean? His daddy was even at the camp. And a nigga dude was finna just doing, you know what I mean? He just, you know, but you know, to each his own.
Yeah,
you know, and in the end, you know, when I got on the streets, he turned around and come back and hurt me. But I forgive him because I got a forgiving heart. You know what I mean?
And you always have.
But you know, thing about this is, man, this is what I be telling folks. When people do try to change, man, other people won't let them change.
People have to allow you to change.
Exactly.
People
They got to
allow
give you a
to
change, bro.
The last thing that's noticeable about a changed person is their mindset. And I can't see your brain, your new brain or your new mindset. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you come around, I'm going to just, this Deon from 6, from 9 to 8.
Yeah.
I'm scared of you. See what I'm saying?
But guess what, though? I'm not that guy no more.
Yeah. Listen, Deon, would you have anything to say to the YNs right now and or the parents on the importance of keeping them out of the prison system? Because the things you saying to us sound so bad and you telling the intricacies of prison life.
Yeah. So this is what I'm gonna say to the young folks, man. Man, look, so we focus all our time on doing wrong. And that's feeding the devil. But think about this though. Think about if you could say no to drugs. Think about if you could tell your friend, no, you don't want to do that. Think about if you could just be your own person. You know what I mean? You know how cold that is. You know how bad that is, man. When you be, hey, dog, I don't even want that, man. I'm cool. That's a whole nother level, bro. You know what I mean? When you telling them, no, and then you win, and they see you win, they gonna turn around and want something what you got. I know how cool it is to be like, hey, man, that ain't me, dog. I don't even do that. That's real, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you can just change and turn around, and all your friends in the streets doing all this right here, and you can just tell them no, and you can just do your own thing. Man, that's powerful, man. That's showing the self-respect for you and the understanding that you got in the control. You know what I mean? You can control your own situation, man.
Yeah.
And then think about this. How can somebody else make you mad enough to jump on them or shoot them? By what they said. They ain't put their hands on you. But then you want to shoot and kill. How can somebody else make you out of their mouth of what they said do something to you? That's crazy.
But we don't have self-control when we kids and younger. I don't got self-control. You talking crazy to me, and I don't realize that I'm allowing you to determine my actions. I don't realize that you really making me up into your own personal puppet. I don't realize that I'm 19, 20, 21. You know, and so I can't see the dynamic that you're saying, which is nobody can't make you do anything. But I can't see that because you was talking crazy.
Yeah.
And now I'm finna, I guess they don't fight no more, Deon.
But
and so now I guess I'm finna shoot you.
Think about this though. Say you up here talking crazy to me, and I'm just looking at you. I ain't saying 2 words. And you talking crazy.
It take 2 to tango.
Eventually, you gonna look so stupid, and everybody gonna look at you like you stupid, and you gonna quit. You gonna look stupid. You sitting up here calling me all kind of names. I'm just sitting there looking at you. Man, look here, bro. If I could go back and change everything, man, I would have went to school, man. I would have went to school. I would have kept going to church. Because, man, since I've been serving God, man, like everything been coming together abundantly, man. And like I'm not hurt for nothing, man. I'm good. You know, but I gotta work at some more stuff for us focusing and planning something and staying with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And my drive is so hard because of the hurt that I got and the pain that I got of what people did and how they did it to me. So my drive, I create that to my drive. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So your bad energy make me have good energy. So if you said something bad about me and I hear it, I don't get mad. I just try to go harder.
You use it for fuel.
Yeah, so cause look, when y'all niggas going to jail and y'all niggas shooting each other and popping clips, I'm going to the bank. I want a bankroll. You know what I mean? That's what I'm doing. Yeah. I want a bankroll. You know what I mean? I want to be rich. You know what I mean? So I don't want to set up and be like, okay, man, shoot, let's go do that to this nigga or do that. Because guess what? Every action is a reaction.
Equal and opposite.
Equal opposite. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then you can get in trouble. Think about this. You shoot somebody, you know your mama ain't got no money. You can't get no lawyer. Then you get appointed lawyer. Then they gonna come back and pay like they got some evidence on you. You know what I mean? Because they working with the state. You know what I mean? And then when they come back, they don't never file for your motion of discovery. All you do is cop out because you want to get it over with. You've been in the county for so long. Now you going to prison. How can you shoot somebody and beef and you ain't got no money? That's dumb. You're going to jail. You're not getting out. Especially if you ain't got no bond money. And then when they appoint you a lawyer, they're going to come see you. You ask anybody in the county. You might be in there for a year. They're going to come see you maybe one time. And you might not even see them until you go to court.
Is your old lady going to bust it open for a real one when you go down? Your old lady, will she have a...
She moving to the next man that got some money.
Okay.
You stupid. Oh, that's gone. You think somebody going to wait on you?
No, I just had to confirm for the audience.
No, that's gone.
You know yeah.
Man, look, check this out. I had went to prison, right? I was getting on the bus that morning, got to it's a light right in front of Jack's, right there going down from 31. I had pulled up. We pulled up on the bus. I looked over. Baby G was in the car with my old lady. I was crying. They had been up all night. You could tell. Both of my eyes was wide open.
Jesus.
I looked. Oh, I swear to God, this happened. I swear for God it happened. I looked over. I said, Lord have mercy. Man, when I got there, my stomach was I was messed up. I was messed up. You know what I mean? So meanwhile, okay, when y'all popping, think about this now. When y'all popping switches and going on, and by the time y'all get out of prison, they have a big old house. You hear me? Mm-hmm. Then you might pay attention then. You hear me? But nah, it's over with. Y'all ain't finna make me go back. Not like that. You can say anything you want to say. I rebuked you in the name of God.
I know
real.
that's right. I know that's right. Now, Deon, you mentioned trauma and pain caused that you dealt with from
Yeah.
others. Now, the
See,
bridge incident.
yeah.
I want you. Do you feel comfortable
Yeah,
going
yeah.
into that?
So-
okay. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Deon. You provide so much value.
So this is what happened, man. So I was dealing with mental health issues anyway. I came from dysfunctional family. So I was dealing with mental health. I had childhood trauma, paranoia, schizophrenia, bipolar, you know what I mean? You know, and I had all that, but I was covering it up with drugs because I didn't know what I was diagnosed with. I mean to tell y'all, some of y'all dudes been out here 5 and 6 years and 7 years ain't never went to no hospital and got checked. That's one. So look, you know, I was dealing with mental health issues. My old lady, she was cheating on me. My mama had died. My grandma died. My daddy died. And at the time, I didn't care about dying. I wanted to die. I wanted to see what it felt like. I felt like this right here is too much pain on earth. And I had died that one time and I didn't feel it, and it felt good when I got shot because I didn't feel no pain when I went away. You know what I mean? So it wasn't no pain. So I wanted to feel that again. You know what I mean? Because what I feel, I didn't feel. I heard.
And you talking about the near-death experience that you talked about earlier.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I said, well, if I jump off this bridge, it'll be a quick death. Meanwhile, I can swim, y'all. So I said, well, if I get high enough and jump off this bridge, the current will take me and I die. I got up there.
But was it a specific reason or issue? Or just all the things compiled, like you said, your mother had died, your father had died.
I didn't have nobody no more, man. You know what I mean? Not realizing I had my kids because, see, when you dysfunctional and you ain't thinking right, you know what I mean? You on drugs and stuff, you don't care about who nobody else feelings. All you worried about, you selfish thinking, and that's wrong. You ain't worried about how nobody else feel. You know what I mean? You just worried about your pain. That's selfish thinking. You know what I mean?
I agree with
so that's what I was doing, selfish thinking. I wasn't thinking about my kids. I wasn't thinking about nobody else but myself. You know what I mean? So I got up there and I climbed down. I thought about it, and then I let go. But when I hit that water,
what you mean you let go? So you jumped off the bridge?
Yeah.
Jesus. And what happened when you hit the water, Deon?
Man, I came up and went to swimming. Man, that shit was crazy.
I know that's right.
Then I was like, man, God, Jesus, Lord, man, what the hell?
Did they shut the bridge down? Or
they shut it down, had it all the way blocked off, all the way back to Huntsville.
Did anybody come? Did they come? Was it rescue guys?
Yeah, the rescue squad came.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Praise God, yeah.
So, man, sometimes y'all, we be dealing with mental health issues and we don't go to the doctor, bro, and get checked out. And we don't want to admit the fact that we have issues because we want to be so down.
Now, how are you currently dealing with those issues? Are you seeking medication or
my old
psychiatry?
Lady, my old lady, she's over mental health. She's the CEO over mental health. You know what I mean? And she taught me a lot about mental health, substance abuse. You know what I mean? See, some of us, like, we don't know what's what. You know what I mean? What symptoms. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
you don't know how to address it.
You don't know how to address it.
Yeah.
Now I know, okay, if I get the feeling like this, okay, I'm going to hit this right here, take this right here, take this right here, do me a couple
You can feel a trigger or you can feel it coming on.
I can feel my mood swings. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Different mood swings, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then if I get too depressed or anxious, you know what I mean? I had to get something to calm me down. I have all the medicine do something different. You have to learn it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you learn it and you learn your body, that's when you figure out. Instead of us addressing the situation, But see, if you mental health and you doing drugs, see, increase depression. Then you be psychotic. You know what I mean? All that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because your mind is wandering all kind of ways and you can't control it.
It intensifies what you
intensifies.
already got going on.
It's intensifies real hard.
Yeah.
You instead of your second mind not thinking not to do it, you gonna do it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the drug and the triggers of the drug. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, and then think about this, man. Some of these guys is mental health and rehabs around here. They're not taking people with mental health issues.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, they're not trying to help you around
exactly.
here. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give a shout out to Harriet because that's when I started my recovery. I was under the bridge. I had got out of jail this last time. Was doing good, relapse. I was under the bridge, man. Flipped out, you know what I mean? Harriet came and got me at 2 o'clock in the morning. She came and got me and took me and got a room. And Harriet just died. She took me and got a room. And then I slept that night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That morning, she come and got me and was talking to me about mental health. You know what I mean? And she drove me all the way to Huntsville. And she told me to tell him that I'm going to kill myself so I can get the right kind of medicine. And I went to the psych ward. And I didn't leave until they got my medicine right. When they got my medicine right, she called another place in Ohatchee. And some dude she went to church with paid for me to go to Ohatchee, and I went. And that's when I started getting myself together. She stayed in touch with me, asked me, was I all right? You know what I mean? You know, we talking on the phone. You know, she, kept talking to me. You know what I mean?
And shout out to her. She sounded like an awesome person.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And, and she helped me, bro.
That was a blessing for you at the time.
That was a blessing for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Boy,
and,
you almost just made me cry, Deon.
Man, for real, bro. She helped me, man. My own family didn't want to deal with me because of the pain that I took them through. Yeah. With all the crazy stuff.
Yeah. Now, in hindsight, can you see the pain and things that you had took your family through, and do you take responsibility for a lot of those things?
Now I take responsibility for my own actions of what I did and how I did it. They had their own family to raise. They was going through their own problems. They didn't have no business chasing me. I'm a grown ass man. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at them. No. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I thank God that God holding me where I found myself in my place. You know what I mean? I take care of old people. I like helping old people, man. I love helping people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, see, one thing about old people is they ain't going to hurt you. They ain't going to talk about you.
No, yeah.
It's the young generation. You can't help them, bro.
Yeah.
All you can do is talk to them. But just like when they used to talk to us, we had to go through it.
Yeah.
And when we went through it, that's when we found ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The kids ain't been through nothing.
No, they ain't been through nothing.
So they can't receive.
They
you know
can't.
What I'm saying?
Exactly. You feel what I'm saying?
They're not receptive.
No, but see, this is what they need to think about. Before you pull that trigger, you think about how you want to be and where you want to be. Because if you can't fight and you ain't prepared to stab nobody and you ain't got no money to get no lawyer, don't even do it, bro. Just try to fight him and beat him up or whatever. Just take the whooping. Yeah. And just let it go. Because one thing about a fight is the next day, man, y'all still there. And then finally y'all get over and y'all get back cool, man. You whoop me, man. You got me, you know what I mean? Y'all dap up, you know what I mean? Because you get to prison and they give you 10 or 20 years. Because for shooting somebody, you doing mandatory time. You're not getting no good time. No good time, period.
You're in your redemptive era of your life now, and we praise God for that. But you're a source of information that a lot of people don't know about. Certain things about the streets and the system that you're talking about, I never heard of. Yeah. Because I never, praise God, I was spared from
Yeah.
going through, you know what I'm saying, dealing with that right there,
Yeah.
that type of life. Now, the lifestyle in prison, did you ever see men living an alternative lifestyle within prison and saying things like, this prison life, not out there life?
Yeah. I done saw 3-4 dudes, they like they a family. They eat together, take a shower together, you know what I mean, fight together. You know what I mean? Like they a family. They've been there for years. The dude that it was a white guy, was my bunkmate in Bibb County. He was going home the next day. He had did 15 years. Somebody came in the cell and stuck him 20 times, and I was asleep. I was taking Elavil at the time. Elavil was a sleeping medicine that when you had bipolar dysfunction, it would make you go to sleep, because if I didn't take it, I didn't go to sleep. I stayed up 3 or 4 days. And I woke up, man, and tried to wake him up to go to breakfast, and he had doo-dooed on himself. And when I had grabbed his arm, when I pulled his arm up, his whole body went. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like a brick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he had died, man. You know.
And you said, did you just say 22 stabs?
Yeah, he stabbed him 20. Yeah, he stabbed him
And
that many.
and Deon, you didn't hear nothing.
I didn't hear nothing.
Oh, God.
I was asleep, man. You know what I mean? And then like,
and praise God that they didn't also stab you out too. You know.
But see, I don't know what he had did and what he was into.
Yeah.
But see, they used to buy the Elavil from me.
Mm.
Like, okay,
what is the Elavil?
Elavil it was a sleeping pill.
Okay.
So
it was like a perk, a fake perk in there.
Nah, it was a knock you down sleeping pill.
Okay.
So they'll buy the Elavil and say somebody new come in, one of them white boys, the young white boys. They'll be like, hey man, you look like you want something to eat, man. They'll crunch it up, you know what I mean? Make a burrito and have the Elavil on his side of the burrito.
Mm-hmm.
He'll eat it. And when he'll eat it and fall asleep, they'll take a razor and cut them draws, you know? And yeah.
Oh, wow.
Real shit.
And what was this a Bibb?
This was at Bibb County.
That is crazy. My only reason for asking about something like that, because it's otherworldly, and I think that it can be something that can be of value to a parent or a YN that's outside thinking that, you know, it's a game.
Yeah, and then
it's not a game.
Some of y'all can go to prison and be claiming to be a G and stuff, and get out there, your homeboys talking about they gangsters. They the ones hitting you in your butt.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
And but when we get out, nobody knows, or we keeping secrets,
it be people knowing, man. But it be people knowing. People ain't stupid. The folks know, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They ain't stupid, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, man, you know, they ain't stupid, bro. You know what I mean?
That's just a scary situation.
But it's so crazy, bro, because in our race today, man, us young black man, they shooting each other, bro. And they don't even know the consequences, bro. And the mom and daddy done worked all their life to get all this money and had to spend it all on them trying to get them out of trouble. And they take them down through there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they still go to prison.
Yeah. And the mothers and the fathers love them so much they'll spend and do whatever they can to keep them out, because you don't want to see your child in these type of situations.
But then they'll get out not knowing they got to go back, but knowing they got to go back to court, not knowing the outcome is going to be, talking about how real they is and all that. But when they get in there and they figure out that you're going down, you're not getting out no more. You're going down the road. You're not. That's the worst feeling of the world, right there. So when I got in jail and they gave me them 15 years.
15? I thought we did. How did we get to 15?
That's the first time I got 15 the first time.
Okay, Jesus.
Yeah, and I knew that, like, my folks would come see me and stuff, but I knew I wasn't getting out and coming home. I had to do a lot of time right here. Mm-hmm. And then when I got sent down, When I saw all that stuff going on up in there, man, and it feel like I was lost in the world, man. Man, bro, that's the lion's den.
The
That's what it
lion's
is,
den.
bro. That's the real lion's den. That's what it is. God just brought that to me. That's what it is, the lion's den,
Yeah,
bro.
it is. Yeah.
Real shit,
I
bro.
don't want to go. And
And
I don't know
then,
how you came out unscathed like Daniel.
man, bro, I ain't gonna even lie, bro. It's like, bro, I ain't gonna even lie. I couldn't. My vibe with people, man, I'm a people person, bro. You know what I mean?
Deon, I can't believe you went through all this because when was you out once you met me and my son at G Barbershop, not the one he had now, the one across the street that he was at the old school
Yeah.
joint. And man, you was always nice to me and my son. You even bought his haircut a few times, and I really appreciate that. Cause
Y'all was good, bro. I mean, I could feel y'all energy, bro.
yeah.
Like, bro, listen, you could be in traumatized so bad, and a person can talk to you, and they like your kid, your son, and you come in talking to me and vibing, and that'll bring me all the way out the focus that I'm in. I might be thinking about doing some devilment, or been and did something, but when I talk to you, it make me feel a certain type of way. So it relax my mind. Sometimes a person, all they need is somebody just to guide them and correct them and talk to them. And some of them want to listen, but some of them don't listen. You feel me? But I was one of the ones, I wanted an understanding. I wanted a person to be loyal to me like I was loyal to them. You know what I mean?
So
I never had that, bro.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I never had that, bro. You're the only person that would ever been loyal to me like that, my dude in Indianapolis. You know what I mean? I talk to him all the time. You know what I mean? He stay in Virginia now. He just got the feds. His name Imp.
Shout out to Imp. Can you tell me what loyalty means to you? I'm sorry to go to that rabbit hole right there, but you brought up the word, and we use that word a lot on here. We talk about relationships and
Okay.
things like that a lot, and so what does loyalty mean to you?
Guidance, understanding, trying to tell you right, trying to help you, not hurt you, lead you in the right direction. You know what I mean? Not leaving you, not forsaking you. You know what I mean? Study trying to help. You know what I mean? See, we got the game mixed up with loyalty. These people think loyalty is, I'm going to ride with my dude.
Now, hold on. Now, I'm gonna ride with my dude. Am I loyal or disloyal if I decide to, you saying you want to do something felonious, and I'm like what you were saying earlier, like, no, I ain't on that type of time. Am I disloyal?
No, you're not.
Okay.
Because the thing about it is, when you tell them you ain't on that type of time, then you hit them with, hey, man, there's consequences behind this, bro. You don't need to do that. And they veer off and still do what they do. That's on them. You did your part.
And that doesn't make you
That doesn't
disloyal.
make no. That makes you smart.
Okay.
You're not dumb. You feel me?
Yeah. I had to ask that because peer pressure, being a youth, and what it is outside. You might got an OG and OG gonna put you on, but OG saying do this. You know
But
what I'm
listen
saying?
though, that's the thing. I'm glad you
It's a
said
lot of peer
that.
pressure.
This the thing right here. Listen, this the thing right here, man. Okay. Man, these dudes be telling you to do bad stuff and do all that stuff, you know what I mean? All they doing is using you for what they won't get done. That's it. They using you to do their dirty work. And they reaping the benefits. The devil a lie, they'll never get me like that no more. Bet that scared you.
Now, Deon, we gotta wrap it up, but I need to ask you, what was your major turning point? Because that's major. And I need to know, what was your major turning point, your paradigm shift in your life that helped you to catapult yourself from, you know what I'm saying, what you were standing under to now overstanding and overcoming the lifestyle that you used to live.
Okay. When my cousin, she a girl, when she crossed me and started saying stuff about me, and it broke me all the way down because it wasn't true.
What was
she
it
was
something
just talking about me like a dog.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, God had broke me down and put it into where I couldn't do nothing but call on him. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All I could do is call on him. I said, Lord Jesus, if you make me stronger, I'm gonna serve you. I said, I'm tired of living like this. Just help me, man. Show me that you can help me, and I promise I'll be for you. If I fall, I'll get back up and I'll keep trying.
Deon, I gotta ask again more specifically: was that revelation after the second time being shot, or
Okay.
what was that after the fifth prison bid?
It was
Was
like-
that before you met
it-
your
it-
soon-to-be wife? What was the
Before
situation?
before I met my soon-to-be wife, I had apparently did 3 years for domestic violence assault. My baby mama shot me.
Okay, okay,
You know what I
okay,
mean?
okay.
And I did 3 years. 3 years mandatory.
Bring the mic.
I did 3 years mandatory. And then them 3 years were the best 3 years of my life.
Turning point.
It was my turning point. That's when I found myself.
So your last 3-year bid that you had to do,
Yeah.
that was your turning. That was your major moment.
That was my major turning point. That's because reason why I said it is I figured out because I brought my kids Christmas from jail. All of them. Christmas from jail, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
I bought a 750i BMW from jail, the county jail. Like, man, look, man, that's how I know God real, man. You know what I mean? And see, that's why sometimes I don't understand. Man, when somebody trying to do something right and change, man, y'all help them, man. Appreciate them brothers, bring them in, show them love, man. Don't discourage them because you done did good all your life. Because guess what? God will break you down off that high horse where you had to call on him.
That's a fact. Deon, I also think that another part played into your overcoming too. And I think that's got something to do with, you told me when you was coming down here, you was like, I don't even live there no more.
No,
So you separated yourself from the actual environment.
Yeah,
and I think that played a big role. And I got Miss Sharice. I hope I just said her name right. A wonderful lady. You was talking about spirits earlier and kind of how you had met me and my son at the barbershop and how you could discern that we was good people. Now, when I met Miss Sharice earlier today, I immediately knew, oh, that's where he need to be at. She, you know what I'm saying? She one of them. I could tell. I don't even know her. Okay, I could tell she got a good spirit. That play a big part as well as the separation, I think. Now, what do you think about that? And we can wrap it up.
Okay, that's my shield. Reason why I said it is because listen, this how it go down. When I feel some type of way, she go to the Bible and she section it off and she break it down to me.
Give you some confirmation.
She give me confirmation.
Directly from the word.
Yeah, and then it come right back around on me. You see what I'm saying?
That's how the word do you.
So guess what? I'm blessed, baby. You hear me? By the best. You hear me?
Yeah.
So, then I realized I come back for a month. I tried to get a job everywhere, man. Didn't do no drugs. Didn't do nothing. Man, try to get a job. It wouldn't nobody give me no job.
They're going to force you back into the life.
They tried to play me like I was the same person. Man, I had to pick my stuff up and leave again, bro. You hear me? So they let me know that this ain't the place I supposed to be, bro. You see what I'm saying? And if I can help anybody, I help them, man. I ain't tripping.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? Some people, how you said, I can see a snake, but a person that envy you, they'll kill you, man.
Yeah.
Envy is worse than a snake.
Yeah.
Because you can see a snake, but when a person envy you, they up on you.
They might be lying.
They lying to you.
Yeah. They might be putting on a facade.
Exactly. That's dangerous.
Just to slit your throat.
Ooh, that's dangerous there, boy.
Yeah.
That's out cold. You hear me?
Yeah. And Deon, you did help me today and the audience, you know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate you for coming through, you and your wonderful old lady. And I got so much value out of this today. I already know that I'm going to need you to come back and took your time to drive all the way from a whole other city to come do this interview with us and bring value.
Yeah, you know what though? My 1 minute, your 1 minute. If don't nobody else feel me, I know you do, man.
I feel you. I do.
I know you do.
I do. And that's major, guys. Thank you so much, Deon.
Yeah.